day 53 of quitting weed, and Krisky is asking, what are my views on true recreational smoking, like once a month or once every few months? And I would say my views on that are pretty much my views on anything that, within reason, as long as you're not harming anybody else directly, as a full grown adult, you should be able to do whatever you want to your body or with your body within reason, right? I don't expect anybody to watch all of my videos and read all of the comments that I leave in response to other people's comments on my videos. So, something I've said on a lot of my posts that a lot of people have probably missed, so they're not getting the full context of, what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I smoked every single day, pretty much nonstop for 25 years. 20 out of the 25 years, maybe 21 or 22 out of the 25 years, I was 100% completely functional to satisfaction with myself. Recently, I haven't really felt that way, right? It's not to say that, up until the day that I quit smoking 53 days ago, I could still function completely fine while smoking, right? I'd wake up in the morning, I'd smoke a few blunts, I'd go to work. I'd smoke on break if I had a break. I'd smoke on the way home. I'd smoke when I got home. I'd smoke before bed. That was basically my routine. And I was going through about 2 ounces a week, only smoking blunts specifically. I don't smoke joints. I don't smoke bowls. I don't smoke bongs. The only bongs I smoke were the roaches at the end of the day. Of the blunts that I smoked that day would go into the bong, and I would smoke my roaches out of the bong. Sounds gross, and it was, but that's just how I did things. I was still the top producer at work. I was still outworking most of the people that I was around. I could still take care of all my responsibilities within a timely manner. There wasn't anything that I was doing incorrectly or that I was missing out on. There wasn't anything that I was falling short with in terms of an everyday person's expectations of another person. What I was doing is I wasn't reaching my own full potential, and I realized that. And there's a saying that a person that realizes that they are not reaching their potential is somebody that actually has potential to reach. Somebody that says that they are doing their best every single day and that other people need to accept that will never be as good as the person that realizes they're not reaching their full potential. That's pretty much the truth. Because if you believe that what you're doing is your absolute best every single day, and that what you are producing and where you are in your life is exactly where you need to be, and there's not much further you can go, then you'll never actually go any further. It's If you think you're at the finish line, there's no incentive to keep going. That wasn't me. It never really has been me. I always felt like I had to do more. The person that thinks he is working too hard is usually the laziest person, whereas the people that are the most successful think they're not working hard enough, no matter what. And that's what drives that success, is they constantly have to keep moving and going. And I felt that within myself, that I always, at the end of the day, would be like, damn, I could be doing so much more. Realistically, what it comes down to, the main reason why I quit smoking weed was the time suck that it became. I spent a lot of my time either driving to the dispensary, physical act of smoking, rolling blunts, just so many different aspects that came along with smoking were more just about how much time I was wasting on it. I guess the money factor as well, obviously saving money or having more money helps. But I wasn't like drowning. I'm not in debt. There was no big issue there. But the reason why I smoked mainly is because there was a potential that I saw that I could reach, that I just wasn't giving all of my effort and my time into, because I was focusing on other things. Now, it's not to say you can't have hobbies. It's not to say you can't be doing other things while trying to reach your potential. Everybody has to have outlets and, extracurricular activities aside from just grinding nonstop. Unless you're an absolute fucking psychopath, in which case you're definitely going to be more successful than anybody. If all you do is grind and all you do is focus on success and all you do is work nonstop, you're obviously going to be hyper successful in life. That's just how it goes. Anybody that denies that fact just doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. But I was finding that there was a lot of time I was wasting that I could have been using to occupy other portions of my life that would have got me further or will get me further than smoking weed ever has or does. Now, in that same breath, I also need to admit that I smoked weed a lot to deal with certain things. For example, when I was younger, a lot of my friends would get together, they'd go to parties or they'd go do something that, you know, they always say when you grow up, you think back on the things that you did and you were like, oh shit, that was so stupid. I should have never done that. For me, smoking kind of helped me avoid a lot of that. You know, my friends would be getting ready to go out and do something that in retrospect was probably stupid. And I would sit there and smoke and play my guitar and go, do I really want to go out or do I want to just sit here and write a new song? You know, the creativity aspect came from the weed, but also the introspective thinking like, hey, should I do this? You know, I was able to think more linear and draw things out and kind of not predict the future, but at least come up with multiple scenarios in which I could possibly do something fucking stupid or I could just sit here and play guitar. In which case, the worst thing that's going to happen is I might get a little fatter because I'm not exercising, or I might write a badass song, whatever. So I used weed a lot to kind of keep me away from trouble, which is weird because a lot of my friends got in trouble for weed, whereas I was staying out of trouble because of weed. But at the same time, I still could have made those same decisions like, hey, this is probably not a good idea for me to do, whether I was smoking or not. So I think recreational smoking is fine, depending on who you are. You know, recreational smoking can very easily turn into smoking every day, which could very easily turn into smoking all day, which could very easily turn into you wasting all of your time smoking weed. The same as any other drug. The main difference is most other drugs are more highly addictive than weed. Most other drugs are chemical based and chemical compound based, whereas weed naturally grows for the most part. Most other drugs are just a lot worse for you than weed, but people cannot sit here and honestly say that weed is not bad for you. It's not good for you by any means. Yes, it helps with pain. Yes, it helps people with mental instability issues. Yes, it can help people sleep. Yes, it can help with a multitude of things medically. But there are other things that can also help with that. For example, if you have a hard time sleeping, eat better and exercise. If you tire yourself out, you will fucking sleep. The big thing is, good or bad, nobody can ever do anything every single day, all day, and have it not affect them. Right? Example, you can't smoke weed every day, all day, and it not have an effect on you, which in the long term is probably going to be a bad effect. It's going to deteriorate some of your thought processes. It's going to have an effect on your lungs. I'm wheezing right now just fucking from working out a little bit and just talking because I haven't fully recovered yet from smoking for 25 years, specifically just blunts. But on the other scale of that, the other end of that scale, working out. If you work out every day or 3 or 5 times a week, constantly, and you keep up with it and you do it for 20 years, you're not going to look the same as if you didn't work out. You're going to be healthier. You're going to look healthier. You're going to gain muscle. You can't do anything, regardless of what it is, every single day, all day, and have it not affect you good or bad. So I guess that's like the main thing. Choose what affects you and choose what you focus your time on. And eventually you're going to be a different person when you come out on the other side. Whether or not you want to be that person is up to you. And whether that person you're about to become is okay with you is up to you. But what I was becoming and what I was seeing myself become and the future that was in store for me if I had kept smoking every day, all day, just wasn't the future I wanted. So I hope that answered your question. Happy Halloween, everybody. It is Halloween night. I handed out some candy to some kids, but it was a good night. So enjoy. Thank you for the question, man. Let's go.